Oklahoma flu deaths close to hitting an all-time high. OU sexual assault investigation continues, and after a slight surge, the stock market sinks again. This is OU Nightly. Welcome to OU Nightly. I'm Collin Kennedy.
And I'm Sammi Steele. The number of flu hospitalizations in Oklahoma reached an all-time record high today.
That's right, Sammi. State health officials say nearly 3,000 Oklahomans have been hospitalized with the flu this year, the most hospitalizations since the State Department started keeping records. 129 influenza deaths have been recorded this season, just one death away from the previous record of 130 deaths set just last year.
And we checked with the Oklahoma State Health Department this afternoon, and they said anyone who hasn't had a flu shot this season needs to get one. Shots are available at your county health department clinic, doctor's offices, and most pharmacies. Other things to keep in mind: keep a good distance from someone who is sick. Be sure to wash your hands often or use hand sanitizer to help keep from germs spreading. And stay home from work, school, and other public places if you are sick, and the health department emphasize not returning to school or work until your fever has been gone for at least 24 hours.
A good idea for sure.
Absolutely.
The currently closed search for the replacement of OU President David Boren could soon become open. A small group of OU faculty has constructed a letter professing their desire for the Board of Regents to make the search for Boren's replacement an open one. The hope being that they could potentially have a voice in the decision, as to this point they've been essentially kept in the dark on the process. The email has been sent out and is now circulating among faculty on campus, giving them the opportunity to add their name to show their support.
You've got a situation where students, faculty, staff here at the university are becoming increasingly concerned about the closed nature of this search. They don't know who has applied. All there are at this point are lots of rumors.
The letter is planned to be delivered to the Board of Regents by the 16th of this month.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, Collin. And OU is still investigating the 2 reports filed last week concerning the sexual assault at Couch Center right here on campus. An OU employee is at the center of the accusations, but his name has not yet been released. The employee is no longer working for the university, and according to Matt Epting, OU's press secretary, he resigned voluntarily. OU Nightly is searching for more updates on this story, and we will keep you posted.
You know, Sammi, it's been pretty nice so far today, even though it's been pretty chilly.
It's been chilly. It was really cold this morning, but I think it's warmed up as we've gone through the day.
Yeah, Jordan, how is it going to stick around?
Yeah, it has warmed up today. Live radar right now. Haven't seen much today. In fact, no clouds in the sky. It's been nice outside compared to what we saw just 2 days ago when we were dealing with freezing rain and freezing drizzle. But not much on the radar right now. Pretty clear, and temperatures are getting way up there. 59 degrees in Norman, 59 degrees in Oklahoma City, topping off at 67 degrees, and the Panhandle down in Guyman. A little bit cooler to our east, but still across the entire region, the warm air has returned. We see most of Oklahoma and Texas has also inside the 50s and 60s, but look to our north. What do you see? Cooler air, see all that blue? That's cold air, that's coming in our direction. So we have one more warm day before an Arctic plunge this weekend, which brings us a chance for wintry weather. I'll have the details coming up, but for now, back to you guys.
Thank you, Jordan. Well, it seems like the cold weather, like you said, will be sticking around. Collin, have you ever had a deal, speaking of frozen weather, with frozen pipes?
Sammi, I'm from Texas. When there's an ice cube on the ground, we ask for school to be canceled.
End
so
of
frozen
the world.
pipes, I don't even know that's really a thing. Luckily, though,
well, it is.
Some service experts know exactly what to do. When the temperature drops into the 20s or lower, unprotected pipes can freeze, and once that happens, they could be in danger of bursting. You can use different heat sources to transmit heat through the pipes that will thaw the ice and allow water to flow again. Rick Parker from Gordon's Service Experts explains how to avoid the problem.
And then the best thing to do is when you know that the temperatures are going down below freezing for an extended period of time, like overnight or even for several hours, is to let the faucet just drip a tiny amount all night long so that the constant water flow doesn't freeze and cause that problem to begin with.
Now, hair dryers can also be used to warm up your pipes. Just may take a little while. You can have heat strips installed on your pipes that can be plugged in during the cold months. Make sure you know what kind of pipes you have, because there are different methods of preventing frozen pipes. Meanwhile, the stock market is plummeting yet again. Lauren Linville joins us in News Center now with more on the shocking drop. Lauren.
Yes, Collin, after a brief recovery early this week, the Dow Jones is down a significant amount yet again. A 1,033-point drop continues to unnerve investors, down 10% from the record high 2 weeks ago. Investigators say the drop is not the end of the world, but it is uncomfortable. EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt believes that humans may actually benefit from global warming. In a statement Tuesday, Pruitt said history has shown that humans have flourished in times of warming trends and that it is not necessarily a bad thing that the planet seems to be heating up. He went on to say that humans have no idea what ideal conditions will be in the future and that it is arrogant to assume otherwise. Well, the times, they are a-changing. The Los Angeles Times has been sold to a biotech billionaire for around $600 million. The sale comes after a time of downturn for the newspaper, but new owner Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong is very optimistic about the future. The buying of newspapers by billionaires is becoming a popular trend in America, notably when Amazon founder Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post in 2013. And Sammi, on the other side of the country, thousands of Eagle fans gathered in Philadelphia today to celebrate the team's first ever Super Bowl victory.
A happy day for many. Thank you, Lauren. Still ahead on OU Nightly, why you don't have to be an athlete to be a national champion at the University of Oklahoma.
Plus, is Big Brother watching us? We'll tell you why people are covering up their computer cameras. You're going to want to stay with us.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. A Tulsa man who harassed and attacked members of the Lebanese family living next door to him is closer to knowing his fate. A jury found 63-year-old Stanley Vernon Majors guilty of first-degree murder and a hate crime, amongst other charges, all in connection with the 2016 death of his neighbor Khalid Jabara. Majors' defense team plans to appeal yesterday's verdict, and sentencing is scheduled for February 20th.
Oklahoma Attorney General Mike Hunter has sent a letter to President Donald Trump. The letter is in support of former U.S. Army First Lieutenant Michael Behenna, who is convicted of unpremeditated murder in a combat zone. Behenna, attempting to find people responsible for an IED that killed 2 men in his unit, killed a suspected al-Qaeda terrorist in Iraq. Without a pardon, Behenna will go through life with a felony conviction. In addition to that, several people are starting to worry who is watching them through webcams. Abby Green joins us now with more on how people are starting to hide. Abby.
People everywhere are covering up their laptop webcams to protect their privacy. Around campus, you'll most likely be able to spot at least a few webcams being covered up by either an opaque tape or a sticker. OU IT computer specialist Spencer McCormick says the department has dealt with multiple webcam-related issues.
Got access to his computer, they locked everything down, and he brought it to us. He opened the computer, and it took a picture of one of my colleagues.
The OU IT department encourages students to cover their webcams, shut their laptops when not in use, and keep all softwares up to date. Tesla losses soar as the company works to revamp its Model 3. This was the largest quarterly loss in Tesla's history. Tesla struggles to manufacture the more affordable model. The electric car company predicts it will be able to produce 5,000 Model 3 vehicles a week. And dwarf galaxies put a new spin on galaxy formation. Astronomers say the discovery could cause trouble. An important piece seems to be missing when it comes to dark matter and the formation of galaxies. Simulations suggest that only 0.5% of galaxies should be arranged this way. And it is said that Apple might be releasing an iPhone X special edition.
Are you serious?
That's what the
feel
rumors
like I
are.
bought this the other day, and they're coming out with another one.
I know, it
Yes.
is always something with Apple.
I don't know what they think they're going to get into, but thanks, Abby.
Yeah, thank you, Abby. Well, athletes aren't the only ones who can be national champions. A team of 3 OU law students took first place in the 2018 Andrews Kurthkennen Moot Court National Championship. 3 third-year law students were selected by a faculty selection committee and were one of only 16 groups to compete in Houston, Texas for the Moot Court National Championship. The students spent months preparing with the help of professional Oklahoma lawyers.
They went to 3 sort of field trip practices, 2 at law firms, Hollistel and McAfee Taft, and then they also went to the Supreme Court.
OU Law is ranked #2 moot court program in the nation in the Blakely Advocacy Institute's annual rankings and named top 10 best value law school according to national jurists.
A local skate park in Norman is ramping it up with some new graffiti. The Norman Public Arts Board is accepting proposals for new graffiti-style art on the ramps of Blake Baldwin Skate Park. The 4 ramps will feature new element-themed graffiti, and each ramp will represent the park where it will soon reside. OU student Fraser Day likes the idea of new artwork, but will miss aspects of the old.
The graffiti beforehand was from kids who actually skate here instead of artists who are going to make something like skateboarding.
Artists who have lived in Norman for at least a year are eligible and could win a $600 prize. The deadline for submissions is February 12th at 3 p.m.
What a fun thing for them to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is great. Well, still ahead on OU Nightly, signing day has come and gone for new members of Sooner Nation.
Jordan, you've been telling me a whole lot about this Arctic plunge coming for Oklahoma, so what's the situation?
That's right, an Arctic plunge leads to blistering cold. We'll let you know after the break. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Jordan Evans. Look at your weather. So we have the Sooner Skycam Network. Conditions are looking fantastic. Sunny skies all across the state. Tulsa Cam not seeing any clouds. Norman Cam not seeing any clouds. Oklahoma City or Nora River Cam. But right now, Norman temperatures are fantastic. Sitting at 60 degrees with sunny skies. South wind around 19 miles an hour. It is dry out there. Dew point sitting at 24. That's going to continue as we go into the weekend. But let's look at the big picture. What do we have going on? So here we go. Here's our system off to our north. You can see some snow along it. This is going to be impacting Chicago. In fact, Chicago the next few days could see snow accumulations up to 6 inches across the Chicago area and different places like that. And that system is coming in our direction, so it's moving to the south. So it's going to impact us as we go into Saturday and also into Sunday and then as we get into Monday. So here we go. Here it comes tomorrow afternoon. Conditions are going to be about what we saw today, just a little bit warmer with south winds continuing. Notice our cold front. There it is right there around 5 o'clock. It's just to our north. They're moving in our direction and through Norman in the evening, tomorrow evening, and that's going to bring way for some very cold air. More on that in just a minute. But when it comes to rain and wintry weather, right now, most of the rain looks to stay off to our southeast. So most of the rain will be in southeastern Oklahoma, into Arkansas, and far eastern Oklahoma. Now, as temperatures drop tomorrow late night into Saturday morning and they get below freezing, we could see some freezing drizzle and some freezing rain, maybe in the metro. I've got a 20% chance mainly for some freezing drizzle. So just make sure if you're out Saturday morning, just keep an eye on the roads. If you see rain falling or see a mist, it most likely is freezing. And you want to be careful because it doesn't take very much ice to cause some problems. Now notice to our north, as we get to Saturday afternoon, band of snow. This is a wraparound right here. Could see 2 to 4 inches of snow in Kansas. So Kansas City, up to 4 inches of snow once we get to late Saturday and into Sunday. That's going to try to make a run for Oklahoma. Here you can see it trying to make a run for Oklahoma, but it's not going to do much. We could just see some flurries early Sunday morning in northwest Oklahoma, but right now, not expecting any accumulation. But that brings in this Arctic high. There's the Arctic high, and that's going to send us on an Arctic plunge. So here we go. We have 64 degrees for Friday, and here we go on Saturday, all the way down to 27 degrees for a high on Saturday. We start to warm back up, though, as we head later into the week and back to 60 by next Wednesday. Okay, so first night temperatures are sitting inside the 30s. Tomorrow we'll be warming up again, getting back up to 64 degrees. Clouds will be increasing as we go throughout the afternoon into the evening. Highs tomorrow back into the 60s for most of the state with 50s to our northwest. Then look at the forecast. Here we go. Sunny day. Then a cold front comes through in the evening. Then Saturday, blistering. It's going to be blistering cold. There's that 20% chance mainly for drizzle in the morning, afternoon, into the evening hours. When we play that out as we get to Valentine's Day, conditions are actually looking pretty fantastic. Valentine's Day looking at a high of 60 degrees. That'll be almost kind of like what we saw today.
60 degrees for Valentine's Day, Collin? That's pretty warm here. That's hot for Norman right now.
Well, on Saturday, if you see a bunch of ice on my face, it's just because I've been crying through the cold temperatures. But
or crying because he doesn't have a date for Valentine's Day. Maybe one of the two. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Ouch.
Sorry, Collin.
It's okay.
I love you.
Well, Cal, the NBA trade deadline has passed, and it feels like the Cavs have a completely new roster.
That's right, Collin. Find out which star is headed west, plus the latest on National Signing Day. Sports is on the other side. Welcome back. The Sooners pulled in a top 10 recruiting class in Lincoln Riley's first year as head coach. Tori Johnson joins us live right now at Oklahoma Memorial Stadium with the latest. Tori.
Hey, that's right, Cal. It's a little cold, it's a little windy, but hey, I'm still fired up for some Sooner football. Head coach Lincoln Riley and the crew welcomed some new additions to the Sooner family yesterday. Riley said that the focus this year's recruitment was on defense, and thankfully they did add some star recruits to that D-line, including 4-star recruit Ronnie Perkins. The 6'4", 280 defensive end will be a big body to have on the line. Joining Perkins will be Jalen Redmond. Redmond was a 5-star recruit and a local coming from nearby Midwest City. Coach expects them both to step up this season.
But we've built everything around kind of our recruiting model. We've built everything around being able to sign great defensive linemen, and this year was a great step in that direction. Jalen Redmond kind of gives you the athletic presence. You know, Perkins and Tatum both give you a lot of versatility.
Oklahoma, you're doing fine. They're sitting at number 9 on the national recruiting rankings. And not only did Georgia break our hearts last month in the Rose Bowl, but they also topped the charts on recruiting. But hey, at least it wasn't Bama. And Oklahoma did do a lot better in conference rankings. They came in at number 2, although they are playing second fiddle to their Red River rival, the Texas Longhorns, who are ranked in at number 1. But hey, Sooner fans, don't worry. Mark your calendars for the Cotton Bowl in October.
We're thrilled to welcome these guys to Sooner Nation. Happy to have this class behind us, and now we get back to some football.
Cal, it was a fun signing day for OU, and I don't know about you, but like Coach said, I'm ready to get Sooner football started again.
I am too, Tori, thanks. The Cleveland Cavaliers took care of business in the final hours before the NBA trade deadline. Isaiah Thomas and Channing Frye have been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance Jr. This is Thomas's third move since being traded from the Celtics last August. What a time to be his real estate agent. The Cavs also traded Dwayne Wade back to the Heat, where he spent the first 13 years of his career. The Cleveland roster reshaping continued after acquiring Rodney Hood and George Hill in a 3-team deal. Also, former Sooner Blake Griffin has a new teammate in Detroit after the Pistons received James Ennis from the Grizzlies. And it's typical for families to celebrate with a student athlete on National Signing Day. Well, maybe not in the case of wide receiver Jacob Copeland. After committing to the Florida Gators, his mother, seated left on screen wearing an Alabama hoodie and Tennessee headgear, gets up and walks out. Now, thankfully, a couple minutes later, she did come back onto the scene and give her son a hug. But, man, I made my mom upset before, but she's never done anything like that.
All I'm going to say is, as a Gator fan, she should be thankful her son didn't pick 2 of those awful schools.
That's right.
Hey, thanks, Cal.
Well, still to come on OU Nightly, this newly married couple seem to be on cloud 9, literally.
Plus, Jordan Overton may have your weather fact of the day. You're going to want to stick around for it.
I'm Tevis Hillis at the OU Nightly Update Desk with the latest on the recent church stabbing. Last night, 4 men were stabbed during a home church service in Corpus Christi. The pastor was hospitalized along with 2 other injuries and 1 death. The suspect, 28-year-old Marco Antonio Marino, a member of the church, immediately surrendered to congruence. Officers suspect mental health issues possibly due to his alcohol and drug-related history. That's it for now. Back to you all in the studio.
Thank you, Tevis. We'll talk about elevated love. A husband and wife in California exchanged their vows standing on a makeshift web 400 feet above a canyon. That's right, you heard me correctly, a canyon. The adventurous couple travel around the world, so they say the wedding was not too out of the norm and are hoping their viral pictures help bring exposure to the sport that they love. Those pictures also, by the way, were taken by the bride's dad. And he was out there, their wedding party was out there.
Nice.
Everyone was out on above a canyon for this wedding.
Yeah.
That is something.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. But hey, as long as we do know, I mean, we talk about Valentine's Day coming up. They're already celebrating early.
They really are.
Sammy already got her dig on me.
Oh,
me getting a Valentine's Day would basically be like jumping over a camera or a canyon. But don't worry, my heart isn't the only thing icy cold. So, what's Jordan's weather fact of the day? Go.
That's right. On this day in 1994, we did have an ice storm here in Oklahoma, impacted the eastern 2/3 of the state, and it also had 300 motor vehicle accidents in Oklahoma City.
Wow.
Thanks, Jordan.
Well, thank you so much, Jordan, and thank you for watching OU Nightly.
See you tomorrow at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.